Welcome into Stock Talk with Nico Kritikos. Today, we're going to be doing some analysis into what stocks the super investors bought and sold in Q1 of this year. This news just came out recently, so we're going to go ahead and go to dataroma.com to see, first of all, what stocks were they buying. So we can see exactly what person, what hedge fund bought which stock and at what price they bought that stock, how many shares they bought, all that different stuff. So at the top of the list, we have Google, right? And Google has been on a pretty hot run lately. So it looks like they bought at about $101 was about the average. 13 super investors bought Google. 13 investors bought Amazon. Amazon's been on a pretty hot run as well the last couple weeks. Then you have the other shares of Google. Then you have Microsoft with 9. You have Meta Platforms with 9. Meta has also been a huge runner. I think it's at $246 it's at now, coming all the way up from, 8 months ago it was at, or 6 months ago it was at $90 or something. So it's nearly tripled now. Intuit, this one I just sold recently. I sold part of my shares because I am somewhat concerned with the fact that last week the news came out that the U.S. government is working on a software or a website where people can just file their taxes like that. And that's the majority of Intuit's business. So is that something that's far-fetched and maybe I'm over-exaggerating? Maybe it's possible, but I just like to, take as much risk out of the situation as I can. And, if that blows over in the next couple months, then maybe I'll buy back into it if the stock's at a good price. But I mean, I don't see why the government can't do that. So that could be a huge threat to Intuit. Salesforce, six purchases for this one. This one I owned it a long time ago. I think I haven't purchased it in its most recent dip because their free cash flow and their profitability is not good, and it makes the PE ratio look sky high. So that one I wasn't super interested in. PayPal, I bought PayPal at $180 a share back, a year and a half ago when it started falling at first, and I ended up selling that right around $70 because I sold for a pretty big loss because I just got tired of dealing with the stock wasn't moving, it wasn't going anywhere, and I felt like, PayPal, there's a lot of competitors in the space now, so I don't know. I wasn't happy with their cash flows either. That's not one I felt comfortable holding. I wanted to get rid of that. I want to go into more companies that are growing free cash flow. Capital One Finance. This is one I looked at recently too. This one I'm somewhat interested in this. I'm not against buying this. I think Capital One is a good one, but I mean, you also got American Express. I think I bought MasterCard a couple weeks ago. That's also on this list somewhere. But Visa's on this list. There's a lot of different, credit card players you could buy into. Then you got GE Healthcare. So GE split up into a couple different, I think they split into 3 different companies. I forgot what they all are, but healthcare is one of them. Bank of America, I bought this stock. This is when I've been buying at $28. I think this is going to be pretty easy money over the next couple of years. I also bought this one, United Health Group. I like this. Now we're getting into lower numbers. These are only, 5 super investors bought this, but I still think United Health is a proven business model. They have growing free cash flow and net income. That's what I like to see. Visa, I love Visa too. I just think I think MasterCard has higher return on capital numbers, or there was something that made me choose MasterCard instead. But both of those companies I think will have nice runs over the next couple of years. Those are pretty wide moat businesses unless the government or something came out and interfered with that. International Flavors and Fragrances. I see this stock come up a lot. I don't know a ton about it though. So I'm not sure what they do. Marsh and McLennan. This one's interesting. This is a like a consulting company, and I like this one too. I saw. Let's see if we click on this. Somebody bought a lot of shares of this. I forgot what it was, but somebody see that one that's a $500 million from that top fund there. So that's another interesting one. I think now for part 2 of this video, we are going to have to go into a second video in order to do the sells that the super investors did for this quarter. So I will see you in part 2 of this video.